Sai Ram to all. This one is the second presentation on the basis of the third chapter, trigonometric functions. In the previous presentation, we have gone through the concept of how to convert the angle which is given in degree measure to radian measure, and if the radian measure is given, then how will you convert it into degree measure. And in this presentation we are going to recall some basic concepts of trigonometry which we have already read in class 10th, and the values we are going to find if the value of one trigonometric ratio is given, then we are able to find the values of other t ratios. Then here we have trigonometric functions and equations. The trigonometric ratios are the ratio between the two sides of a right angle triangle. This concept we know. If you are recalling from class 10th, then we are getting a right triangle, and then we are using the concept of right angle triangle, we are able to get the values of all the 6 t ratios and with respect to the angle which is given in the triangle. The angle theta taken into consideration may be acute, obtuse or right angle. In class 10th we have done the concept which is based on the right angle triangle. Here we are using the concept of acute, obtuse or right angle triangle, these kinds of triangles. And if you are observing this, then we are observing x axis and y axis here, and if I am taking a point, then if you are considering this point, then this is point P and the coordinate of P is xy, then the perpendicular distance to the x axis is y and the perpendicular distance to the y axis is x. Then here we are observing in this triangle, if you are observing OPM, then we are getting a right angle triangle, and in this we are observing here an angle is given, angle POM is given theta, and if this angle is given, then we are able to find the value of sine, cos, tan, these t ratios. Then side opposite to the given angle, we know this is perpendicular, then here y is perpendicular, and x we are considering this as base, and OP we are getting as the hypotenuse. And if we have this, then we are able to find the value of sine theta, and this is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, and from the given figure we are getting y upon r is equal to under root x square plus y square. We are just recalling the concept from class 10th. Then cosine we are getting as base upon hypotenuse. Base we have x, hypotenuse we have r, and cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Then tan theta we know, tangent theta is equal to perpendicular upon base, means y upon x we are getting, and we are writing this as tan theta. Cosecant is written as hypotenuse upon perpendicular, the reciprocal of sine theta, and it is written as cosec theta. Secant is the reciprocal of cos, and it is written as sec theta, and we are getting r upon x, means the hypotenuse upon base. Cotangent we are getting the reciprocal of tan theta, and this we are writing as cot theta. And these basic identities also we know. The first one we are getting as sine square theta plus cos square theta. This is the relation in between sine and cos. All these we have to use in this chapter. For this reason we are recalling all these basic identities. The relation between sec and tan, we have sec square theta minus tan square theta equal to 1. Cosec square theta minus cot square theta is 1. And if you are multiplying sine theta and cosec theta, then what we are getting, these two are reciprocal of one another, then we are getting 1 sine theta into cosec theta. Same for tan and cot, and same for cosec and cos and sec. The product we are getting as 1. Sin theta into cosec theta is 1. Tan theta into cot theta is 1. Sec theta into cos theta is 1. And this also we know, if you are finding the value of sin square theta plus cos square theta, always we are getting 1. And if the sum of these two is 1, it means that if you are finding the value separately, then numerically each of them is less than 1. Means clear from this one, the sin theta, the magnitude of sin theta we are getting less than equal to 1 if cos is 0, and if sin is 0 then we are getting the magnitude of cos theta as equal to less than 1. Same for cosec and sec theta. If you are finding the value of cosec theta, then cosec theta lie in between minus 1 and 1, and sec theta we are getting as minus 1 to 1. Tan theta and cot theta may take any value. And these also we know, sin theta is the reciprocal of cosec, cosec is reciprocal of sin, cos is reciprocal of sec, sec is reciprocal of cos, cot is reciprocal of tan, and tan is reciprocal of cot. Then tan theta is also written as sin theta upon cos theta, and cot theta is written as cos theta upon sin theta, because these two are reciprocal of one another. The trigonometric ratios can be either positive or negative. Now here we are starting with the concept of class 11th. The trigonometric ratios can be either positive or negative depending on the quadrant. We also know this, if we are getting as xy plane, then x and y axis divides a plane into 4 parts, and that 4 parts are called quadrant. And if you are observing the figure, then we are getting the values of t ratios positive and negative depends on the quadrant in which the angles lie. And this concept is very important. And if you are observing the figure here, then the xy plane divides the plane into xy axis divides the plane into 4 quadrant, and in the first quadrant all the functions are positive, means all the t ratios are positive. In the second one, the sine and cosec, the value of these two are positive. In the third quadrant, the tan and cot are positive, and in the fourth one, cos and sec are positive, and rest of the t ratios are negative. Then if we are moving ahead, then what we are observing, these we have to remember. In the first quadrant, which values are positive, then all the t ratios are positive. If you are finding the value in the first quadrant for any t ratio for any angle from 0 to 90, then all the values we are getting positive. And in the second quadrant, means 90 to 180, then we are getting sine and cosec we are getting positive, and rest of the values are negative. If you are observing the third quadrant, then only tan and cot are positive, and rest of the values are negative. Well, rest of the t ratios are negative. And in the fourth one, only the cos and sec are positive, and rest of the t ratios are negative. This you have to remember, in which quadrant we are getting which t ratios positive and which we are getting as negative. In the first one, we are getting as in the first quadrant all t ratios are positive. In the second quadrant, only the sine and cosec are positive, and in the third quadrant, tan and cot, and in the fourth one, cos and sec are positive. And if you are moving ahead in this concept, then what happen if you are plotting the graphically? If you are plotting the t ratios graphically, then how will you observe the graph in these? Then in the first quadrant, the sin theta increases from 0 to 1. Sin 0 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. For this reason, the graph of sin theta, if you are plotting, then we are getting that increases from 0 to 1. And in the second quadrant, what happened? 90 to 180. Then it is decreases. The value of sin theta decreases in the second quadrant, because sin 90 we are getting 1, and sin 180 degree if you are going to find, then that we are getting as 0. In the third quadrant, still it is decreases. The value of sin is decreases from 0 to -1. Sin 180 is 0, and if you are finding sin 270, this we know. Here we are getting the 0 degree, here we are getting 90 degree, 180 and 270 degree. Then the sin theta is decreases from 0 to -1. Sin 180 is 0, and sin 270 if you are finding, then you are getting -1. What happened in the fourth quadrant? Then sin 270 is -1 and sin 0 is 0. Means in the fourth quadrant, the value of sin theta is increases from -1 to 0. Similarly, these t ratios, cos theta, if you are finding cos theta, then in the first quadrant it is decreases. If you are plotting on the graph paper, then what we are getting, cos 0 is 1 and cos 90 is 0. It means that yes, in the first quadrant it is decreases. In the second one, still it is decreases 0 to -1. In the third one, it is increases from -1 to 0, and in the fourth quadrant increases from 0 to 1. Same for the tan, cot, sec and cosec. All these values you are getting in the NCERT book on the page number 59. Go through that concept, which value is increases, which t ratio is increases in which quadrant, or in which quadrant the value of that t ratio is decreases. And all these things are more clear with the graph of these. Then here I am with the graph of sin theta. If I am considering a function as sin x, y is equal to sin x, then how will you plot the graph of these? If you are taking the value of x as 0, then sin 0 we know, sin 0 is 0. Then I am taking sin pi by 6. Sin pi by 6 means sin 30 degree. Sin 30 degree is 1 by 2. Similarly, sin 45 if you are finding, sin pi by 4 if you are getting, then it is 1 upon root 2. What we are observing here, if you are putting the value of x in the function, we are getting the values of y. And if we have the values of x and y, then the coordinate we know, coordinate is xy. Means if you are taking a graph paper and if you are taking x and y axis on this, if you are plotting that, then easily we are able to plot the coordinate xy. The value of x is called domain, and the value of y we are getting, that is called the range of the function. Then how will you plot the graph? Get the point xy, and if you are plotting these, then you are getting the graph of sin x like this, and this you are observing, it increases from 0 to 1, and then it is decreases. Then again it decreases up to -1, and then it increases from -1 to 0. What we are observing here, the values are repeated after a certain period. After a certain period, we are getting the values, and if you are plotting the graph of these, then here we have 0, sine 0 is 0. If you are finding sine 180, then this is also 0. Sine 0, we are getting 0. Sine 180, we are getting 0. Same from the graph, if you are observing sine 2 pi, yes, it is also 0. Same for the negative one, sine minus pi, this is also 0. Means from the graph we are able to observe value the on which particular values the graph of these are periodically repeated. Same for the cos, if you are plotting the graph for cos theta, and if you are putting the value of x as 0, pi by 6, pi by 4, pi by 3, then you are getting the graph like this. Cos 0 is 1 and then it decreases. Cos 90 we are getting 0. Then here we are getting cos 90. And then cos 180 if you are finding, then we are getting minus 1. Cos 180 is minus 1. Then periodically the values are repeated here. Cos minus 90 we are getting here. Then on plotting these points and on joining, you will get the graph of this. And by the graph you are able to observe in which quadrant it is increases or in which one it is decreases. What we are able to get this, the values are periodically repeated, then we are getting the general formula of this. If sin x is equal to 0, what we are getting in the graph of this, sin 0 is 0, yes, sin 180 is 0, sin 2 pi means sin 360 is 0. These values are periodically repeated, then we are getting a general value for x. If you are getting sin x equal to 0, then x is equal to n pi, where n is any integer. Plus minus pi. If you are putting 1 in place of n, then what we are getting? 1 pi plus minus 2 pi if you are putting 2 in place of n. Because n is any integer, then sin x is equal to 0, then x is equal to n pi. And if cos x is equal to 0, then x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. If you are putting 1, suppose you are putting 0 in place of n, then what we are getting? Pi by 2. X is equal to pi by 2 you are getting if you are putting 0 here. And cos 90 is 0. If you are putting 1 in this, then 2 into 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 3. You are getting 3 pi by 2. And if you are finding the value of cos 3 pi by 2, this value is also 0. Means we are getting a general formula or general concept for this. If sin x is equal to 0, it means that the angle should be n pi and n should be any integer. And if cos x is equal to 0, then x angle we are getting as 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is any integer. The same we are observing the graph here for tan x. The same concept you have to use. You have to take a function y is equal to tan x, then put the value of x. We have already done the graph in the second chapter also. Then go through the concept of these graph, plot the graph in the notebook also. Easily you are getting the graph of these functions, the t ratios. The graph for sec x we are observing here, and the cosec x we have. All these are similar. We are putting the value and we are getting the value of the function. And the value which we are putting, that is called the value of x coordinate, and the value which we are getting in the function is called y coordinate. And if we have x, y, then we are able to get the graph of these. Then here we are observing cos x is equal to 1 upon sin x. Then x is not equal to n pi. If you are remembering the last concept, if sin x is equal to 0 you are getting, then x is equal to n pi, and if you are taking n pi here, then we are getting 1 upon 0, and this is not defined. For this reason, cos x is equal to 1 upon sin x if x is not equal to n pi. Same for the sec x. If cos x is equal to 0, then x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. And if this value is 0, again we are getting the condition for not defined. For this reason, yes, sec x is equal to 1 upon cos x, but x should not be equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, means the multiple of pi by 2. And for tan x, if you are observing here sin x upon cos x, then cos x is in division, and if we are getting 0 as cos x, then we are getting the condition for not defined. For this reason, x should not be equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. And for cot x, cos x upon sin x, and if you are taking x as n pi, then we are getting the denominator 0. For this reason, we are not taking x equal to n pi here. Then cot x is equal to cos x upon sin x. What we have in the exercise, in the second exercise, we are getting some questions, and in these we have to find the value of other 5 trigonometric functions, and some questions are given. First of all, in this presentation we are going to cover question up to question number 1 to 5, and in the next presentation we will solve question from 6 to 10. Then how will you get the values of other t ratios? And then this concept is also we are recalling from class 10th. Two questions are there in exercise 8.4. In the last year we have two questions, and in that two questions, in the first and second question, what we are doing, we are getting the values of other t ratios in terms of given t ratio. Then same concept here we are using. In this question, cot x is given minus 5 by 12, and this is also mentioned here, this value lies in second quadrant. What we know about second quadrant, in the second quadrant, the values of sine and cosec, the value of sine and cosec, only these two t ratios are positive, and rest of the 4 t ratios are negative, and this value lies in second quadrant. For this reason, the value of cot x we are getting as negative, minus 5 by 12, and we have to find the values of other 5 trigonometric functions. Then if cot x we have, then easily we are able to find the value of tan x, because tan x is the reciprocal of cot x. And if we have value of cot x, by using the relationship between the cot x and cosec x, because the identity we have cosec square theta minus cot square theta equal to 1, by putting the value of cot in that, easily we are getting the value of cosec. And if we have value of cosec, we are able to get the value of sine, reciprocal of cosec. Then these types of concept we have to use for finding the values of t ratios. Then here we have the solution. The value of cot x is given minus 5 by 12. Easily we are getting the value of tan x as the reciprocal of this, and it is minus 12 by 5. Why we are taking negative? Because this value lies in second quadrant. Then if tan x we have, the relation between sec and tan we have, sec square x is equal to 1 plus tan square x. Put the value. If you are putting the value and on solving, we are getting 169 upon 25. If you are taking square on the other side, we are getting sec x is equal to 13 upon 5. If we have value of sec x, we are able to get the value of cos x, the reciprocal of this. Then cos x we are getting as minus 5 by 13. Sec x is minus 13 upon 5. These values are also negative. Now we have value of cos, tan, these, then the relation between tan, sine and cos we have. And if we are putting the value in that relation, then sin x we are getting as the product of tan x and cos x. Or you may use the relation between sine and cos as sin x is equal to under root 1 minus cos square x, the basic identity. Then also you are able to find the value of sin x. We are using the identities and the relationship between the t ratios. We are not taking the basic concept as sin theta is equal to p upon h, cos theta is b upon h. We are not doing by that method. And cosec x we have 1 upon sin x, the reciprocal of sin. Cosec x we are getting here. Before this the sin x we have 10x into cos x. Then these get cancel out. Minus into minus is plus. We are getting 12 upon 13. Yes, this value is positive because the angle lies in the second quadrant. And if we have value of sin x, then we are able to find the value of cosec x by making the reciprocal of this. And this we are getting as 13 upon 12. And similarly on the basis of these, you have to solve the questions of exercise 3.2, and these 5 questions we have. The quadrant is mentioned, and if the quadrant is mentioned there, then you should go through the concept of the quadrant, in which quadrant which t ratios are positive and which are negative. Otherwise you are losing the marks. Then in the next presentation we are going to solve the questions 6 to 10. Sai Ram to